All right, welcome back, Lakers, to the first Overwatch stream of the semester. I'm your host, Derek,
I'm Ethan.
and yeah, we're gonna get back into some Overwatch. There's been some pretty big changes since last semester.
Yeah,
Overwatch is now, or Overwatch 2 is now just Overwatch again.
now just Overwatch, and we're back to Season 1, which
Yeah.
That's exciting. 5 new heroes as well. A lot of them very fun to play. Hopefully get to see some of those tonight during the thing, unless they were not allowed.
Yeah, I'm not
I
sure
don't
if they
know.
have it for competitive because the patch only came out on Tuesday and it's Friday now. So sometimes for competitions they give you like a week or two to learn the
Mhm.
hero just because they don't want the crazy upset for balance.
I mean, we'll see. So, I mean, it would be exciting to see if they are in the game because
Mm,
we can definitely see how good they actually are.
I'll say it was pretty historic for this change to go all the way back for Overwatch. I know a lot of people were just calling it Overwatch prior to this, anyways. But I feel like they're kind of ready to go to move forward with a lot of the previous baggage they had, so to speak, and they decided they're not doing like a lot of the previous plans. They're just going to focus on multiplayer, and they're actually doing story stuff again. Like they had
Mhm.
a new cinematic with Vendetta, which is the first time they've had like a cinematic in years now, which is
Yeah.
awesome because cinematics used to be like my favorite thing for Overwatch. They had like the Winston and Genji ones like all the way back in 2016, 2017, and it hurts me to think that's 10 years ago. Oh yeah, it's also the 10-year anniversary for Overwatch, so that's another big reason why they're doing all of it this year.
Yeah, obviously the cinematics. Obviously Doomfist, spoiler alerts, he unfortunately got thrown out of a window, but I don't think anywhere they've confirmed that he died, which I know a lot of people said that he died, but I don't think anywhere they confirmed that.
Yeah, yeah,
He is still playable, so I mean, obviously he's in the game, but
yeah. In the lore, he got shoved out of a window. I heard quite a few people that said that could they like temporarily like disable him like how they do for some heroes when they have a glitch? Like could they just remove him from rotation for a while?
my bet is he's going to get a rework or something new, which
Yeah. One of my
I'm
friends
curious.
joked there's the new tank passive that he gets to where like he recovers 70 HP when he's in the air for
Mm.
like 2 seconds. They said nah he's fine. He recovered the 70 HP while he's falling because he was in the air.
Yeah,
The new pass. Oh yeah, they also have new sub roles too. Every single role has a new sub passive. Well, there's like 3 or 4 for tanks. For DPS it's also 3 or 4, and they have minor changes for all of them.
I think it's 3 for each. I think some of the support ones seemed honestly, I feel like some of the support ones kind of seemed broken, or at least the one with because you can gain like 25% alt charge past your like
Yeah, I saw that. So
full.
I was kind of scared that they were just gonna keep ulting over and over if you can
Hmm.
just keep using it and holding on to that extra 25%.
Sounds like we're getting into the game now, so we're gonna see what is going on. I think we're starting on control.
Yeah, that can be Valley versus
Lee
University
Zhang
of
Tower.
Michigan. We got some Tracer Sojourn action going on. Man, wouldn't it be an Overwatch stream or competition if we didn't start with Li Zhang Tower? I believe last semester they also had
I
Li
think
Zhang
it
every
was
single time as well.
Every single time it was Lee Zhang.
See,
See Lucio, Kiriko, Sojourn, Tracer, and then I think I saw a Wrecking Ball in the background.
yep, got a little 1v1 in the background. Got a Tracer going on the flank. Yeah. Have a ball looking to
Point
test the Sigma
is
point.
just almost now it is captured by UofM. Ball not able to spin around that fast enough.
Yeah. They had a change a long time ago where ball has a cooldown on the grab hook. Before he could just hook onto something and he would just spin infinitely. So it's a pretty nice change that you can't do that forever now. I think it's limited to like 6 or 8 seconds now, which is
My
very
bet
helpful.
is the new heroes might not be allowed, actually, looking at this.
Yeah, I feel like we'd probably at least see one of them, but it seems like we just have kind of a classic dive competition coming here with a Genji Tracer.
Because I feel like we'd see at least one jetpack cat, because I feel like they've been pretty broken. GVSU unfortunately being pushed back in this fight. Ball just trying to maybe hide. Did they see it? Oh, they did.
I think they might be getting ready to touch in a moment. Actually, no, it's at 40%. I wonder what they're doing over there.
All just looking to occupy some people over here.
Yeah, they're creating some space. They have all the eyeballs on them. That means the rest of the team could go in.
They unfortunately get almost taken out. They have to kind of fall back there. Cast hinder on the ball is kind of tough.
Got some poke of the Sojourn trying to see if they can hit any headshots on that.
Ball uses the alt. Ball did get a new perk recently where they can basically just use their alt twice, I think, in like short succession.
Oh yeah, you get like, I think it was a mini amount of mines. I think you have to place it within like 5 seconds or something along those lines, which is pretty insane if you ask me, because mines are already pretty powerful.
Do
Yeah.
see
I was like, what is?
Ball maybe just waiting.
Yeah,
for
they're
the
looking
right
to set
moment.
something up.
Do they see him through the window? Kiriko seems like they see
Yeah,
them.
looks like they're gonna try to shove them all in.
Cast Hinder goes out, but unfortunately not able to stop the rolling.
Yeah, it looks
Well,
like.
happening as well. Pushing GVSU kind of off point, allowing UofM to take all that space.
Now they're gonna use the Kitsune rush load to try to push in. Got a counter ult from the Sigma.
Doesn't. Looks like it only picked up one person
I
there.
believe they got Suzu cleansed it. Well, now they have beat. They're just gonna invest a lot of ultimates in this fight. Yeah, so.
Yeah, all the ults coming out. It's
And now
the
they've.
Lucio ult comes out. Kind of late for the Sojourn, unfortunately. Ball on point. Just trying to contest. UofM almost taking it there. GVSU will keep point unless if they might lose it here though, unfortunately.
And the parry gets stunned mid slam by the cast. He's pretty good for ball counters.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Ball
The
gets booped off the edge by the Lucio.
the grapple was on
unfortunately.
cooldown. He couldn't save himself. They're probably
No
watching
grapple.
for it.
I think the ball was also waiting around the edge to
believe
see if they could knock anyone
Grand
off
Valley's
as well.
looking to touch. It's over 90%, so someone has to rush in. Looks like it's gonna be
Tracer
Tracer
gonna
or Lucio.
try. Does work out. They get the touch, but unfortunately go down.
Get
Ball
eight-
is on point though. Can just spin around the middle.
Yeah, they got a trade, so they can work with this. This is still comeback.
Sojourn going down. That Sigma just right in their face.
Grand Valley might try to stall or just push them away for a little bit. Buy
Grand
time for
Valley
the team to come back.
Did take point, so let's see if that can hold. Ball is having to try and touch there, but unfortunately goes down.
Yep, they're gonna flip. But they still have Tracer here. It looks like they can contest. They're gonna keep trying to touch the last seconds. So.
They definitely can keep trying. It is over right now. Unfortunately, Tracer
Oh.
could not make it just out of blinks, unfortunately.
Yep. It was a good attempt. They really stalled it out. Because they had a 99, and they were able to push it off in a staggered fight while they're down one. So I feel like that was still pretty nice from Grand Valley to be able to try to take it back and
Good
stall it out for like 2 fights worth.
Good attempt, just unfortunately not able to make it back to point.
Make sure you're ready. Who knows
See,
what we'll find
this
out.
next map does look like Gardens, so we'll see how that plays out for GVSU.
Yep. I feel like we definitely would have a jetpack cat on this point
Yeah,
if they're available.
definitely.
So I have a feeling they just have a ban on the new heroes.
I'm gonna have to assume.
Yeah. I'm interested to see Farah here, especially because they really benefit from the new perk class they have, to where they can see. I think they have the infiltrator one, so they can see through walls when someone's below 50%, which is really good for Farah.
Ball is trying to get someone off the edge there. Unfortunately, just not happening.
I believe they were waiting and ready for it.
Bar can obviously also knock people off the edge. See if that can work out.
Yeah, we need to set up a big flank, get it off angle, try to distract some attention for Grand Valley to push in.
See if they can. They almost got the Sigma, it looks like, but they go down.
And still a lot of trading happening, so it looks like Grand Valley's, yeah, they're able to flip the point here.
Start building that percentage up.
Even if they lose the fights, as long as they maintain point, they can just keep staggering on, and they'll gain the advantage here in the long run.
Farah is coming back.
They have the galactic weapon as well, the bright purple.
Kind of misused the boop on that Lucio there, but did kind of get them away.
Yeah, they might have been mostly trying to use it to knock themselves back there. Now Ball is looking for a
Ball
setup
just
here.
looking for something. UofM did capture point, so Ball is going to just try and contest now, it looks like.
It looks like he's trying to knock him back and forth. He gets 2 of them to
That
very
is
low, but they can't get the
Tough
finish.
there. That is they all just have to focus the ball on that one. But somehow, Perry makes it out of that.
I believe they're gonna chase the far here, but I get away. It is a little bit difficult since they have a cast, and it seems like the cast is relatively good aim.
Definitely. Any flying character into, I'd say, Cass is pretty tough. I feel like all the flying characters have pretty large hitboxes, so it's always tough to go against a hit scan like that.
Yep. It does depend though, because sometimes you can have a case where they either have bad aim or you have really good positioning and you kind of poke around corners, but in general, just rough for it.
All is ready. Do you think we'll see it with the Kiriko rush?
Possibly. I think the ball is waiting to use in the back.
Assume they might want to take point before.
Oh, there we
it
go.
goes. It comes out now.
Yeah, so looks like they want to invest almost everything into this.
All these ults are coming out here.
Yeah, the ball's
Sigma almost
spin to
down,
win.
but unfortunately the Lucio beat comes out and saves that Sigma.
Yeah, and UofM was able to cap point for a while, so even though they're fighting and they're almost losing, they've had the point this whole time, so they're almost all the way to 99, so they're going to be in overtime here any moment.
See if GVSU almost capturing the point on that last fight there. Was that an Ajax from GVSU Lucio? I feel like I heard that.
I couldn't quite tell because I didn't see the effect, but I definitely heard them die relatively soon.
I heard the alt voice line, I feel like. We'll see. It was. They do not have their alt. That is unfortunate. They're very sad now. That sucks.
Yep, well,
Hate
happens
to see
to
it
everyone.
happen, but
Unfortunately, sometimes the best times to use is when your team is low, and it's also when you get low or something comes up. Grease Master, that's quite the username.
it wouldn't be a competitive match without at least one Ajax. So, got to see it once.
Oh yeah,
1K play the game.
that's the first point we saw. Environmentals are usually weighted rather highly for play of the game, so sometimes if you get like 2 people knocked off the map for kills, it's usually almost guaranteed to be play because there's considered like 2 or 3 times worth normally.
I was playing recently. It was a jetpack cat. There was a play of the game from a jetpack cat, and they were just picking me up with their ultimate and dropping me off the edge. And it was like, that's honestly really embarrassing. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I learned now. Pro players are saying the new meta now is you don't drop them off. You basically hover them down because if they have any kind of movement ability, once you release them, then they'll just fly back up. But if you just like hover them down into the kill zone, it's still like 10 feet below you, so you just don't go in yourself and you just dunk them down into kill.
I mean, I was playing Ramatra, so there
Oh
was
yeah,
really no hope
you'd
anyways.
be fine.
There was really no hope anyways for me. I think that happened like multiple times during that match too, and it was just so sad. But I think we still won.
It's a bit goofy, but it's a hard-fought victory for UofM. I feel like Grand Valley still did rather well, especially first point.
It's just it was tough to get. I'd say a team wipe on to U of M because they kept on just coming back. It felt like. So we'll see.
Yeah, so we might go over some of the new characters because like we said earlier, there's quite a few changes over break with the re-release of Overwatch. They had 5 new heroes, which is the most they've ever dropped at once. Even for Overwatch 2 on launch, I think they just had 3 heroes, and they had a lot of other systems and graphics changes or whatever, but it's a lot of heroes at once.
One new hero per season now is, I think, what the plan was for this year.
Yeah, so there's going to be 10 heroes by the end of the year. So they have the 5 now, then every season after this is going to be a new hero.
That's exciting. I'm excited to see what new heroes. I feel like they had like some of the silhouettes.
Yeah,
of
they
them
did.
shown. Some of them look really interesting.
I'm excited to see the one that looks like probably a tank piece, giant and bulky armor. It looked kind of like an old concept character they had, so I wonder if they're digging through some of the old concept ones and finally getting around to using them.
There's one character in a trench coat and a hat. That's the one I'm really interested in.
Oh yeah, that one looked cool. All right, we should just go down the list and maybe start with Anran.
So obviously, the new damage hero, Wu Yang's sister, older sister. She went to fire college.
Yeah, whereas
So,
he went
obviously.
whereas Wu Yang went to like water school.
Yeah, Wu Yang went to water college. Anaran went to fire college. So obviously, it's pretty interesting in the Overwatch universe.
Yeah, it's like the version of Shark Boy and Lava Girl, if you remember that movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's actually pretty much it.
Yeah, so her primary combo is she ignites people with her left click with the little fire kunais, and then her right click she kind of fans the flames, and once they're ignited, does bonus damage. So usually you try to left click into right click if you hit them.
Yeah, about every one of her abilities fills up a bar, and then at the end it does ignite the enemy, and then you do bonus damage with your secondary fire.
Yep, and then her left shift ability is a movement ability. It's kind of like a dash, but it's not as fast, but you can turn it just a little bit. And it's mostly used for movement from what I've seen. Yeah, her her E ability is pretty good. You can use it for temporary invulnerability, and then
Mhm.
it lasts longer and hits more people the more they're
It
in the
is.
area.
It is a lot of fun. I've used it. I've used her. That's my primary way. Is I typically use the movement and then use the invulnerability when it gets a bit get tough.
Yep, and then their ultimate's also interesting because they're one of the only characters that has two ultimates, and one of them is a self-res, which I feel like a lot of people said would be insane, but then a lot of times I've seen people realize that if you self-res after most of your team's dead, you just
It's
stagger yourself and lose your
yeah.
ultimate.
It's situational, say the least.
Yeah, especially because it's not instant. You have to wait like 5 seconds for the animation to go and be fully resurrected.
But seems like we have another game starting up here, so we'll see what's going on. Looks
Oh, we
like
got
they are on
Midtown.
Midtown, yeah.
Father said there is authentic Vietnamese food
One
in big
thing with
cities.
the Anoran
What
that
should
we were
I try
talking about,
first?
I felt like I think they did just buff her damage a tiny bit in like today's patch notes.
Mhm.
That's a good thing because I felt like you had to do so much for just so little.
Yeah, I felt like she was kind of weak, and I would have also just got a lot of value if I just played another character the same way that I play her, roughly. Yeah, so they have the sim. I wonder if they're going to try to TP to point here, because that's usually one of those strategies when you bust out Symmetra on attack. So they might try to rush, or maybe a flank TP of some sort.
I
Looks like this.
still see the Sojourn, and I think still see. I don't know. Was there a Kiriko as well? I assume there's a Kiriko.
Yeah, I
but
believe
I
they
feel
had
like there's always
Kiriko.
a Kiriko.
Yeah, normally we have an overlay on the top that shows all the heroes in ultimate charge, but right now it's not on. But I believe Rat Baby was on Kiriko.
There's,
Yeah, I believe we do have an option somewhere in the menu, because previously we had a spectator option. But we'll look into it soon.
So we have the Symmetra looking for someone here. Almost get the Freya, but fortunately that movement lets them.
Yeah,
Is this a
Bruh.
Ramatra mirror? It is.
Yeah, just like two anime characters just punching into each other over and over for 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's kind of just the. I mean, we saw the same things from those two Ramatras there,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, the rest of the team had to go in and kind of mess with the 1v1.
Yeah, it's going to be a reset from Grand Valley since they lost that fight there.
Ramatra not working out too great, I assume. Oh, never mind.
And
Still on the Ramatra.
did not believe the graphic at the top. This is actually map 2 now.
You
So,
do see, just trying to push up the middle section here. The Symmetra teleport does go out. Everyone kind of just goes through the Symmetra teleport. Sojourn left to fend for themselves against the Freya.
Sojourn has to
And
go
the-
back now. But
Fortunately, yeah, Sojourn could not withstand that. Team left alone. Freya with the missed ult there, unfortunately. Also, the Kiriko Suzu was not too necessary there, but I get that. That was a bit of a... Just like, I need to cleanse this, maybe.
yeah. Now, the real question is, what does Grand Valley wait for here? Are they waiting for their teammate to get back, or are they trying to poke out and force them to go into them?
It does seem like they're kind of like just shoving themselves in that building and then just not being able to push out of it.
Yeah. I think they may be waiting for
Wait,
their teammate
that
to
is
get
a
back.
jetpack cat, so the new
Oh,
heroes are
yeah, I
not
guess they
banned.
are. I wonder if they just didn't think that they were strong enough before or what. So I guess we do have them in
I feel like a
rotation.
jetpack cat would be great on Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, it is a new character that all of them came to put in perspective. All of the characters came out on Tuesday and it's Friday, so to have everyone at their highest level, they may not feel ready to use them because it's such short notice for all these changes.
Obviously, jetpack cat, a lot of fun as a hero. Do good damage, and I mean they're all right healing. Ramatra ult comes out, gets one on the Kiriko, but unfortunately goes down to the jetpack cat. And unfortunately, that's a GVSU loss right there. So they're gonna just get back up and try again. Cannot seem to get this first point.
Yeah, sometimes on these hybrid maps, first point can be kind of difficult because it's kind of like 2 CP for the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it can be deceptively hard to get through that first point, especially with how tight this choke is.
Yes, definitely. I feel like the choke points are always pretty tough. Looks like they are not trying that Symmetra teleport into the building anymore. Jetpack cat ult comes out. Did it grab anyone?
Freya goes for the solo ult onto the Vendetta. That's another one that's relatively new as well. We haven't seen a lot since they just came out last season.
Vendetta is pretty good when you can just harass freely.
Yeah, I believe they got decently nerfed for the past couple patches, but as far as I know, they're still decent. But you really have to know what you're doing. These are one of the characters that if you don't know, you're gonna feed your brains out because you melee. If you don't get kills, you just immediately die.
Ramatra is one of my favorite tanks, but unfortunately just struggles when you have the entire team to fight.
I don't know, the Jetpack Cat gets away with 1 HP. You hate to see it, but they're a melee character and they didn't have the gauge.
Does kind of need to
Well, they get 2 on the
stay
way
on
out.
point there, but yeah, they do grab 2.
Yeah,
See a ball swap on GVSU.
Yeah, I'm
the
expecting-
Ramatra was unfortunately just not working out for them.
expecting all movement heroes to come in to try to get the point to contest it since it's overtime now. Or maybe a Tracer or something like along those lines. Kiriko can get back fast anyway, so they probably don't need to switch.
Again, Ramatra is always just tough when they have the when the entire team just decides to shoot you.
And now UofM switched to Doomfist, so they also get back fast. Also a pretty good ball counter because when ball goes in, you just keep punching him and you don't care if you can't headshot him.
And they did actually push GVSU off the point enough to take that first round
Yep,
without GVSU full capping.
I don't believe you'd consider that a C9 because a C9 is when everyone's there and they have the opportunity to stand on it. They were all pushed off, so that's different. They had characters like Doomfist that all shoved them off. So they're
Good play
fine.
from
It
U of
happens.
M with that Doomfist swap, getting everyone off of point.
Yeah, Doom is very annoying if you play ball because he'll just keep constantly punching it. And I believe his punch is still only on a 4-second cooldown, which for a stun ability is really, really short.
I do think that they did make it so you can't hold the punch for.
Yeah.
I think it's like 20 seconds, which is still like a.
Yeah, for
you,
the
you
charge
don't need
up.
to hold it for 20 seconds
Yeah, I
ever,
feel like
but like.
The way they said it, I feel like 10 would have been plenty still.
I
where
feel like no
have to refresh it.
Doomfist is holding it for over 20 seconds.
Yeah, 20 seconds is a long time.
So you see a
Oh, look at it.
jetpack.
We had the cat out.
Jetpack cat from GVSU. A lot of fun.
Yeah. I'm waiting now for Overwatch to have a Garfield collab now that they have the right character for it.
They very well could.
Yeah, I just think they have a lot of opportunity. They could have a whole lasagna emote for it.
They could have a Garfield collab. I didn't think of that.
Oh, we could have a Tom and Jerry collab too. That'd be pretty funny.
The Tom and Jerry collab would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, they just had a Hello Kitty collab in game too, which is really wild. And as far as I can tell, incredibly popular. I've seen a skin almost every game I've played. Someone's had one of the Hello Kitty and friends.
You know, that's something I wasn't too much expecting to be like. but-
Sanrio, which I think is the overall organization, is incredibly popular with some people. So I'm not a big Hello Kitty person, but I can see why people are losing their brains over it. But we should probably go back into the match, discussing Hello Kitty forever.
You
Grand
see
Valley now on the
Couple of
defense.
swaps from GVSU onto Tracer, Cass, and the Jetpack Cat, obviously. So we'll see how that fares for them.
Yeah, I wa-
Jetpack Cat just looking like they're shooting out the window.
Yeah.
Not really paying attention
yeah,
to the
Tracer asking
at
for
crit
healing
health.
while everyone's been there before. The support's like, I'm doing damage right now. I'm like, please, I'm 1 HP,
I will
help
say
me.
Jetpack Cat is pretty good at doing damage.
They are.
So
I love their little blasters. Like when they sprout in the distance, their little cat paws. If you can see carefully. Oh yeah, they do have quite a few good emotes. Also, like their victory pose is like the default victory one is. Our highlight intro is them just like staring at a laser pointer.
I think what's fun is when they get slept by Ana, they don't fall asleep and they just get they get mad at the drone that they fly.
Oh, I haven't actually seen that. That's really funny.
Pretty silly. I think. Yeah. Wait. I guess Diva when she's
Yeah,
in her
when
mech
she's
doesn't
in there,
fall
you
asleep.
don't see it in third person, but in first person, she's like shaking the controls.
It's pretty much the same thing as that.
Yeah.
Now that we see Wrecking Ball, I wonder. Yeah.
I think he does because I think he just has his arms out,
asleep.
and I think he actually doesn't move, which I think. Now that we point out, I think that's the inconsistency because he does. You can see like his hamster ball just kind of flashed at the top.
See a Diva swap from U of M. Cass Alton here, probably just to save themselves, but
Ooh, yeah.
unfortunately, it's shot down by the Freya.
They got a little greedy, where Freya can just corner peek. Cass needs like a quarter of a
Ball
second to
just
lock on.
Maybe waiting for the right moment to try and contest this point. They immediately just get lit up there as
Yep.
soon as they Go away.
Yep. Unfortunately, Grand Valley can't play it safe here because now they're on the second round. So they can't let them get any
have
more.
to stop them from capturing this.
Yeah, it's within a couple
Ball just trying to stay
pixels of them
alive.
going.
Freya pick from UofM is putting in a lot of work. Those
ball-
take aim shots are just doing a lot of damage.
That ball needs to get the health back, but they can't afford to leave point for even more than a couple of seconds because now they have 2 ticks and they only need 2.5 ticks to
Ball
win.
might just need to ult on point here. They just got it. Unfortunately, the
Oh,
Diva Bomb
Diva
was
Bomb is
too there.
huge.
Kiriko jumping out right at the last second.
Oh,
Unless they were booped
yeah,
out, but
The Jetpack
saw
Cat tries to
that.
get the Diva out, but the rest of the team is already dead.
that's unfortunately
Yeah, it'll be round 2 going to
lost from
UofM.
GVSU. Well fought by UofM. That was a pretty dominant display. The Freya obviously putting in a lot of work. I saw the kill feed that they had. They were hitting a lot of their take aim shots, which take aim can just be so annoying to go
Yeah,
against.
even if you look just at this play of the game right here, they're just I feel like stuck almost every shot. This Freya is a bit of a menace.
Obviously, take aim. You can just like kind of shoot and then forget, like if you know that it's just get a kill. So it's like it's tough to go against a good Freya.
Yeah, it's just one of those accuracy characters, kind of like Widow or Hanzo, where if you just like hit all your shots, you would just do really, really good. So sometimes it's hard to outplay a Freya, especially with all that movement. If they just hit their shots, like with Widow, if you have a God Widow on the other team and they just headshot you every time, it's just very difficult to play the game.
Yeah, it's tough to do much. But I'm happy that we did get to see Jetpack Cat. That's exciting.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see some Domina, because most people I've seen online says Domina's rather strong.
She is rather strong, but she did have like a bug where, well, I think it was a bug only going against other Domina, so I don't know.
She had one, I believe, where it was like something with a healing bonus where she put on like shields. It would like give her an insane amount, so she could almost full heal if she put her E like detonation ability on a shield.
Yeah, one of her abilities did it does the damage you do, I think, is converted into shields.
And most of her HP is shields.
Yeah, and if you put it on another Domina shield, I think it affected like every square of her shield. So you would just get like all of your shield back in just like a second. So I think that was the issue with her.
Yeah, I do like that she is kind of they said the second poke tank. Sigma was the first, and she is a very, very long range beam. In fact, one of her perks even makes the beam longer.
Really?
Yeah, in fact, if we have a moment, I wonder if we could maybe go over Domina, because we went over Honoron previously. We'll see how fast they get into the game. But yeah, since we're talking about Domina anyways, and they're next up in the list, they are very good. I like basically everything about them.
For people who were watching the stream, do you want to tell us what your favorite of the new characters are?
Yep. Tell us who your favorite new hero is and why it's Domina or Jetpack Cat. We will take those 2 answers.
Honestly, I really enjoy Jetpack Cat, but I honestly really like Emre. His gameplay just reminds me so much of like Halo.
Yeah. I feel kind of nostalgic when I play him. Although I feel like I actually don't like taking his sticky grenade perk, because a lot of times I like to bounce it around a corner. Like it'd be nice. I think what would be a true upgrade instead of situationally better is if they made it to where it bounces off walls but sticks to people. Because there's a lot of times you want to throw it around a corner and you just can't, and you lose like half the ability of it. But maybe we should go back to Domina since she's on the screen. So
she is on the screen there.
Yeah, she is the second poke tank because she's a truly long range beam. Has like a little charge up, and then I believe the charge up, the last shot is a projectile. So for Genji, it's kind of strange. He can't deflect the majority of the shot, but the last projectile shot he can deflect.
I think that part does do. The projectile itself does do a good amount of damage.
Yeah.
At the
And
end.
then she has a shield, but it's segmented, which is the first time they've ever had a tank like that. Yeah, if we want to scroll down a little bit, we can see the abilities.
One thing about the shield that I do not like is I think they actually did just nerf the health of each segment by like 25 HP. I mean, that can make a big difference, but it's like I felt like it was always tough, especially like playing a hero that doesn't have like great burst like DPS. So, but I think this change would definitely be better.
Yeah, and then for her E ability, she throws like a little detonation cube that I believe it can get slow with the perk as well. And she can also get another perk that adds healing with it on shields.
Yeah. She does also have a like a boop that stuns people if they hit a wall.
Oh, yeah, that one's pretty strong too. It also has decent range. So for example, like in the current page that we have right now, where you can see her by the lake, if you just had like 2 people there, she could just shove multiple people like a Lucio boop, which for a tank is really really good.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's a longer cooldown than boop, but you know, a boop is still always
So
good.
here on the we see the shield on the screen. You can see that it's broken up into a lot of different segments. I don't know the exact number,
Yeah, what?
but
Can't
it is a lot.
It is quite a few, and then if they're broken, you can just go roughly to the side. I believe it's timed, so you almost, not quite, but you almost have enough time to have it perpetually up, but you can't repair the segments in that time. So they can still fully destroy it before it gets back up.
It's also sort of like a half circle, so it does protect from a lot. It doesn't have anything from over, though, so you can still get hit from the sky.
Yeah, and this is an example right now in the background of this Genji being shoved into a wall. It does bonus damage if you hit someone in a wall, so it's actually kind of better than a Lucio boop. I'm not sure the exact distance if it's actually longer, but at least having that little bit of damage is huge, especially since if she gets dove, she doesn't really have a lot of tools to help with divers, so this is kind of like the only thing she has for that. So I feel like that's the main use of it, is people just dive or go past her shields, and she just like keeps them away. But she's meant to be a poke tank, kind of like how Sigma's a rock. He mostly wants to play at a medium range. Same with her. You don't want them up close, so like that's just a little emergency, like to zone them out.
Yeah. It can be pretty oppressive, though, especially if you are trying actively to dive.
Yeah, I could see them possibly nerfing this in the future. And then also for her ultimate ability, it is very strong and widely misunderstood from what I've seen. I also, in my opinion, I think there's not great feedback on the splash area because you could throw it and it just kind of appears on everyone. I wish it had like a little explosion radius so you could know like who it's going to affect. But basically it encapsulates someone almost like an Azaria bubble, but they have to shoot themselves out. And if they don't, I believe the minimum, if it's almost done, is 100 and the max is 300. But I've noticed for some characters, like I got hit once with it on Pharah, and Pharah does self-damage.
Oh,
So if you try to
yeah.
shoot yourself out, you're gonna also
You're just going to kind of
get yourself too, because you have to shoot the way out, and by that point you knock yourself out. So you need like a teammate to get you. So for some characters like Pharah, you need to get cleansed or something to get out of it. It's very powerful if you get hit.
It is an incredibly oppressive ability. Just kind of like being able to prevent people from shooting back at you and you still being able to hit them is pretty good. And then even then it explodes if they don't do enough damage.
Yeah, for some characters that don't have high output, like if you like get on Mercy, like she has to switch the pistol and then she probably won't get in time. Like any low damage hero just will not do it, but you can save a teammate if you're not in it. So it's one of the team ults that you need to actually ask for support, which in solo queue, expecting people to bail you out of it.
Genji can
be a little bit
deflect the initial projectile back at her.
Really?
So
I didn't know that. That'd be
she can be
a
trapped
really cool
by
play.
her own ultimate.
All right. Perhaps we want to move on to the next character. I believe it's pronounced Emre or Emir. I've heard of both
Emre.
pronunciations. So I'll say Emre
Not
for
too
now.
sure.
So please do not get too mad at us if we mispronounce it. They just came out of the game.
But he is probably one of my favorites out of the 4 new ones. Is it 4 again?
I think it's
5.
Yeah, because
My bad.
you can get essentially a full new team. So 2 supports, 1 tank, 2
But
DPS.
he's one of my favorites. I like the gameplay that he has. I mean, it's so basic, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier that Halo, I feel like the same way because it's a 3-round burst. If anyone's ever played Halo, it's like the battle rifle. And if he pulls out his secondary with his shift, he gets not quite a super jump, but a higher jump, which also feels almost like a Halo jump. If anyone's ever played that. And also grenades, also a very Halo thing.
I feel like he just needs a plasma pistol so he could do the classic combo.
Oh,
can
yeah,
take out
taking
the
out shields.
shields,
That'd be kind of funny. They
Take
should
out
have
the shields and then one headshot takes him out.
No, they're owned by Microsoft right now. They should actually do a Halo collab. That would be pretty cool when he could be Master Chief.
That I feel like I can see coming, honestly.
Yeah,
I feel
that
and
or
I
Soldier, but I feel like Master Chief would actually work very well
I
for him.
would buy that. I'm not gonna lie. I would buy it.
He already has kind of an armored body. They would just give him the full Chief armor. That'd look pretty cool.
I would buy it.
Yeah, and then his ultimate, it feels kind of like Alari, but you get more shots in my opinion. So basically, the left click is a light shot, and right click is a charge heavy one. I believe most people say you can shoot like about 3 times a light one while the right click charges, but the right click does so much damage. It's kind of crazy.
It does do a lot of damage. It is, again, it's kind of like the character, honestly, like his gameplay. It's kind of a boring ultimate, and like it's not too impressive. It just does like a lot of damage. You kind of fly up, shoot down.
Yeah, I believe compared to Laurie, his movement speed is a lot slower. So like a Laurie, she can actively fly around quite a bit, but she just has the one sunburst, and then they have to shoot after that. Whereas he's a lot slower in the air, but he just does a lot more damage by himself with each shot. He can shoot multiple, and he also doesn't have to have his teammates shoot it to burst it. Oh, actually, we're in the game, so we'll come back to this later. So we'll run back to that.
We'll wonder what we'll see. We'll see the Cass play again. A Wrecking Ball playing the piano.
Yeah, you got to on this point. You know, it's entertainment. I feel like the ball would break the piano if they leaned on it like that. And we do have the overlay. We might need to move the names of the teams just a little bit above
GVSU,
so we can see it.
Looks like we have. A Cass, Tracer, Ball, Kiriko, and Jetpack Cat.
Yep, and we moved the overlay now, so it looks amazing.
Does look like they did swap sides. So we'll see.
Yep. So now ignore. We did correct the other UI elements, but just assume that UofM right now on the right side is
UofM
actually,
is blue now. This is confusing.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they would change it, but
Yeah. New map just drawn.
from UofM we do see Cass, Genji, Ramatra, Jetpack Cat, and Kiriko. Pretty similar to their last one, I think, without the. Oh
Yeah.
wait,
Yeah,
what were they had the Freya, and who else was it last time? Was it a Genji? I'm sorry, I don't really remember.
I don't remember who it was because I feel like I mostly just focused on the Freya. No, I think they had Cass.
I think it was too.
Yeah, but now they have the Jetpack Cat near. I wonder if it's because this map is more open, if they think it's better for taxiing.
Taxiing is a very valuable strategy on Jetpack Cat, especially for characters that don't have a lot of movement.
Yeah,
So
especially
I'd
some slower
say-
tanks. You can get them back from spawn so quickly.
I'd say Cass is a good play. We might even see a Jetpack Cat pick up a Cass with the ultimate.
I really hope we see a high noon Jetpack
might
Cat
see
combo.
that.
I've seen it so much. It's
Ramatra
actually
getting
pretty good.
so low from that fan to hammer, but unfortunately not able to go down. Just the supports behind him.
Yeah, there's just so much pressure on the Grand Valley that they can't quite peak all the time. But now they got the
Wrecking Ball trying to dive the supports, but unfortunately gets hindered. Barely able to make it away to that health pack.
the parry, 14 HP has to play for their
Just
lives.
the Jetpack Cat chasing after them, trying to get the
Yeah,
heals on them.
They want to be on point and contest, but they're still so low, and they're just trying to wait for heals
Looks
and
like
play
they
it
did
carefully.
get away from UofM's kind of assault onto them though. And they did contest point, which is about to be captured by UofM. So
Yeah, we got-
Wrecking Ball just needs to stay here.
Kitsune Rush used from both sides.
Bit of
Both
a
trying to counter each other.
Cass fight there.
Yeah, a cat fight and a cast
Cat
fight.
fight, yeah, is true. Jetpack Cat just waiting for the
Oh,
health
there's
regen to
a
come
Jetpack
back.
Cat ult I've heard.
Probably just trying to
Pop
get
from-
them off of point.
Yeah,
This
pop
Wrecking
from-
Ball just trying to be as annoying as possible.
Yeah.
GVSU did capture the point, and they're just building up percentage now. They're at 40% and still gaining. Though it is contested and just like barely captured by UofM.
Oh no,
Ramatra ult does come out. This could be bad for GVSU.
yeah, they're gonna run it down with the Ramatra.
So it does get ended. Maybe not enough people to.
Yeah, they got an elimination with it, so I feel like they probably figured that's enough value. But we have Blade for Genji for Grand Valley. Wonder if they're gonna use it right now or try to wait.
We do see GVSU with 4 ultimates up.
Yeah, Grand Valley's
See
almost
if
got
they
this
can
point to
utilize
99
them.
on their side. They're
Yeah, the
almost about to
Wrecking
fully
Ball.
reverse it.
Wrecking Ball being able to just hold on for that long. Genji ult comes out, lands one onto the Kiriko, and we'll see if they can find anyone else. Finds the cast, but it gets hindered last second there. But
Yeah.
the cast does go down to the what looks to be the flashbang from GVSU.
Yeah, that is so much value from Grand Valley. Because even though they use the ultimate there, they secured the point. So you'll trade an ultimate to secure point any day of the week. That's all you need to win. And they still have Ball and Jetpack Cat ult. I wonder here what they plan to do with the Jetpack Cat if they don't find a ledge, if they just bring them to the middle of the team or just take them far away.
I don't think there's really too many ledges on this map except for one of the points. And it isn't this point either. I think it's the next
Yeah.
one. Ball just trying to like stay out of the way there.
And
The jetpack cat used U of M's jetpack cat. You tried to use the ult on the ball.
Yeah,
but it
as the
did
ball
not-
flew up in the air,
Yeah,
so
it
they
did
could
not
not
hit it.
Grand Valley has their jetpack cat. Oh, I believe they're looking for it. So let's see if they go for it. Felix Pigeon gets the pick on the cat right at
And
the
then
start.
Genji lands one onto the cast. Cat
Oh,
with
the cat
the
spectator cam.
enhanced melee with
Yeah.
the perk too.
POV, you're a cat. Look at the little paws on the controls and slashing. It's amazing.
Character is one of the more fun ones from the new batch.
Yeah, whoever approved this in management, they did their job. Whoever said, yeah, we can do a cat in a jetpack and just have it meow and a bunch of little cat things. Look, it has little paws and controls and just constantly meows. It's amazing.
So GVSU does start building up that percentage, trying to catch up to U of M's 45%. See if they can hold on to it for the next team fight.
Yeah, I believe Grand Valley's looking a little bit better this round. They already got the first point, which is really big for them.
You know, sometimes you log on and you just have a bit of a tough time your first couple
Yeah,
matches.
it's
so
a warm-up round.
Yeah,
You know,
we'll
they
see.
just,
We'll
yeah,
see
just need
if
to get
Grand Valley
warm.
can come back here.
Yeah, Rat Baby has their ultimate here. Probably gonna look to use it. Oh, did they get the
Did
combo?
they
I missed
try
it.
to? I think they did.
I think they did.
They
It
did
says
on two of
assisted. I
them.
think they got it. We didn't get it on cam, but I think they did the combo.
That was exciting to see.
Yeah, they got the cat and cast combo, which also confusing to say. So we need to really enunciate cast or cat. But that high noon combo was really, really good. I feel like one of the best uses.
I feel like we might. I wonder if we'll see a cat and Diva Bomb combo from U of
That's
M. I've seen that a lot.
I've seen that. That's
online.
really good because you can make it look like it's not going anywhere, and it's even faster than the Diva flying.
Yeah.
So you can do insane pulls.
You
and
can just
moves with
throw it around, throw it behind cover, and
Yeah, you
it
just
can
drag it
catch
around.
everyone off guard. Which honestly, I feel like that's what they're sitting on this Diva Bomb for.
Yeah, we've already seen both teams combo now with Cal, so I feel like they already thought of that.
Also, we do see a point at this point here. We do see a ledge, so we might
Yeah,
see
they
some
might just go
jetpack
for it.
some jetpack cats trying to take some people off the ledge. The Diva Bomb still. Oh, the Diva Bomb. The Diva Bomb still did not come out, so that makes me think that they are going to try and do the jetpack cat.
Yeah, I wonder
Diva
if
Bomb
there's
combo.
any rules in this about staggering, because I know in normal competitive Overwatch, they don't have any anti-stagger rules, so normally in that Diva, since they were the last one, they would demech her and just let her live and either jump off or kill her right before she gets mech. So I feel like that's something, like I said, it might be a weird tournament rule, but normally staggering is a really, really big element for Diva and competitive.
I'll see if
Okay, he's looking for the flank.
GVSU can hold and take this point.
They're definitely
Obviously
drawing
kinda
all that
spinning
attention.
around. Yeah, the ball was definitely a great choice if they wanted to just keep U of
Yeah.
M occupied, which it does seem to be working.
Yeah, they.
Both the GVSU supports back here, Jetpack Cat and Kiriko, just kind of throwing things.
Yeah, gonna.
Kiriko Rush does come out. They do unfortunately go down. Will GVSU be able to capitalize
Yeah,
with
they're-
this Kiriko Rush?
They're still trading back and forth, and they have Cap on point.
Cat
I
fight
think they're gonna
midair,
hold it.
but taken out.
Yeah, we had essentially a World War I, a World War II dogfighting ring in the air, just constantly battling each other.
When's the game happening when they have, it's 5v5 all Jetpack Cats?
Yeah, we got a 15-player kill streak for the parry on ball.
Bomb does come out, but it is not with the Jetpack Cat, unless if they did try it, but I
Yeah.
didn't see it.
And they still have ult here for Wrecking Ball as well. So it's used now as I say that. I think they're going to try to zone out this point so they can cap it.
GVSU does have their Jetpack Cat ult, but they
And
capped
that's
the point
it.
before it.
Yeah, I thought they still had a touch. Grand Valley takes it 3-0. So that's going to be almost a complete reversal.
Definitely, it felt like a complete reversal.
Oh,
this might
wait,
be the
with it,
Jetpack
I
Cat
think this is
cast
it.
play.
I'm excited.
I'm hoping it is.
Show it to me. Yes,
is.
yes, yes.
It's very exciting. Happy we can see the new hero in action
Yeah,
for this.
the new hero
Obviously,
cast.
if you don't know, the cast was flying from the jetpack cat. So
Yeah, and they can just have high noon in the air and get such good coverage. It's such a good combo, and it's very funny. So that's the first time I think we've seen in any of these matches. I imagine they're going to use it quite a bit more.
I feel like we haven't really seen the jetpack cat actually pick too many people up, because typically I would say the jetpack cat provides more value by doing either damage or healing, like directly.
Yeah, I think that's what people are learning now, that for the tether, it's really, really tempting to tether someone like all the time, but really you're just not doing anything yourself, and it's hard for the other person to aim.
It is.
So it's better to use it for combos, like specific combos or abilities, rather than just having it the entire match, despite it being very, very funny.
Or just taking slow characters up to point.
Yeah.
So speaking of jetpack cat, we can take a look at jetpack cat's abilities, which obviously very unique with them being a constantly flying character. They don't have any really management to their flight.
Yep. Yeah, they can just permanently play.
They do have a little of a fuel bar like Pharah's, but that's only for their like boost or extra speed.
Their boost is rather quick as well. Like we mentioned earlier, for Diva Bombs, being able to boost someone around a corner, or the Diva Bomb, you can do it really, really fast in any direction. It's kind of insane.
So the first thing is just their primary fire. It heals allies, does damage to enemies. Pretty basic.
Yeah, it fires little cat paws too, which
it
is
does
rather
fire
cute.
cat paws, which is pretty fun. If you look at their weapon, on the front, it does have. It's like in the shape of a cat paw. But
yeah, it does not have unlimited range though, so I believe it just disappears after roughly like medium-ish range.
it's also a decently slowish flying projectile.
Yeah, so you really have to lead your shots or be rather close for it to be effective. Which, if it was hit scan from any distance and they could fly at rapid speed, it would be insanely broken. So I feel like that's probably them trying to limit their capabilities a little bit there, which it definitely needs it.
I do expect to see a jetpack cat damage nerf in the future, though.
Yeah, and then Lifeline is the next ability, is essentially what we were talking about earlier, being able to tether any hero. So while they're tethered, Jetpack Cat actually can't shoot or do anything. So a lot of people are realizing that it's far better to combo or use it to taxi someone. Because if you're permanently in the air, then you're not doing any damage or healing yourself. But it's still incredibly useful for some plays like we mentioned, like combo with high noon.
We saw in the game, with the high noon.
Oh yeah, also the teammate has to accept it, so you can't just randomly pick up your teammate and throw them off the edge. There's still technically some things you can do.
So playing Jetpack Cat, I wanted to pick up a different person, but the Sombra did not let me pick them up. Or like they kept on, the Sombra kept on accepting the pickup request. So I just kind of flew them off an edge and dropped them off there. But I mean, it worked out in the end. So
yeah, I realize if people really try, there are some ways to get around the protections. Like if, for example, if you go someone over an edge, like they have to choose when to drop, but you can always just technically lower them into the ground and kill them.
And then if you cancel the lifeline, they drop anyway. So it does. You can drop them on command as well.
Yeah, I feel like there's definitely some griefing. They did do some major steps to mitigate it, but I feel like in the team environment where you know who. It's a lot better for teams where you can actually communicate, like, okay, I need to be the one, like, Cass is like, okay, I need to be the one who goes in the air instead of, like, the Reinhardt going in the air.
I've seen some fun plays on clips and everything where say, a Jetpack Cat ults, like, your tank or something, and then your team's Jetpack Cat off from the edge, picks you up while you're falling. It's
all right, yeah. So we'll just briefly go through the last two abilities because we're almost in game. So they have a AoE kind of burst that shows back people and does a little bit of healing. And then their ultimate, it's called, I believe, Catnapper. So you essentially just pick someone else up against their will, and you just throw them off. Like we said, it's usually good to either, if possible, put them in the edge for an insta-kill, or put them in a really bad position for your team to take advantage of them. But now we're going to need to hop back into the game because they're rather speedy tonight. Normally we have quite a bit of time in between rounds, but they want to go into the action.
So back in the game, looks like we're on
Shambali.
Escort.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Since we are actually going the distance, we're seeing more than just Li Jing Tower tonight.
UofM is playing some of my favorite characters in the game, I will say.
Yeah.
Sigma, Zenyatta, and Bap are probably some of my favorites.
They also did do quite a few map adjustments this season. Like some of them have completely new structures. Like Gibraltar is completely changed and destroyed because of the cinematic and lore aspects. But some of them, like this one, they redid all the lighting and time of day. So now Shambali looks kind of weird because it's always at nighttime before.
You know what? Yeah, I didn't notice it before, but now that you mentioned it, it is daytime.
Yeah, it's taking a little bit to get used to. Grand
But
Valley
we
going in with a vendetta.
Do you see a Sigma mirror on this? UofM not picking up the jetpack cat though.
Yeah, I like to see Grand Valley going with Vendetta. She's honestly one of my favorite new heroes they've probably added ever. She just plays so unique.
Gosh, I play such diveable heroes. It's not fun for me. But
Yeah, but for some people, I can see why people don't like her because she's really in your face. But for someone who loves movement abilities, she's amazing.
But definitely see GVSU is able to just keep pushing this cart. Actually, nobody's pushing the cart right now. They're just going for the.
Yeah, they're chasing. They should probably have one
attack.
person in back, most likely.
They do send
the
someone on
Ana.
the cart there.
Yeah, we all hate to do it, but someone has to do it at some point.
Someone does have to sit on cart. UofM swapping off the Zenyatta, not working for them, unfortunately. I love to see more Zenyatta, but
Yeah, got it.
he's obviously not what they need.
Yeah, we have a jetpack. Yeah, so now we have a jetpack. I can't speak tonight. Jetpack cat.
Jetpack cat.
Mirror. That's almost like a tongue twister. Jetpack cat.
We do see a couple of ledges here. Freya goes down to the Ana. So obviously, wonder if they'll swap off Freya. Obviously, Freya has worked for UofM in the past, but now that GVSU has some backline hit scan.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Grand Valley's doing a great job of keeping up the pressure here. You see, they're just pushing forward. They just barely caught this objective, and they're already pushing them back to the end of the
Sigma
second
with
point.
a good rock on that BAP, almost taking him out, but he gets saved.
Yep, we got the yep rock moment.
You see Sigma, one of my favorite tanks
Yeah.
to play. He's just got so much he can do.
And
He's
now
so
since
fun.
we have a Sigma mirror, we have wait a
Picking up the
second.
cast.
Oh no,
Is
they
it just to get
disengaged.
them up there? But
Yeah.
it did get the cast up.
Yeah, they
on
are at
that ledge.
90%. They're probably going to go for it in a moment.
We'll see if they
Yeah, I
do.
think they want it. They're thinking about it.
But they are
Oh,
going
they
to get
can't. Now
picked
the other
at
cat. They're going to
level.
high noon to try to save the cat. They
And
get
they
the
do
cat to
save the
fix
cat.
it. That was such a goofy
I mean,
interaction.
I bet that the cast thought that they got picked up by the
Oh.
other jetpack cat, so they ulted out of like an instinct maybe that could have worked for them. But
Yeah, I think they also realized that since they were facing a wave, it'd be very difficult to headshot. So I'll just save you. And honestly,
maybe.
with an ultimate, if you can secure a kill at the start of the fight, that's usually good enough. People say solo-ulting is bad, but if you get a kill, like that's instantly puts you up one person. So that was still a really good ult from them.
It was pretty silly as well.
Yeah, and now they're on to third point with quite a bit of time remaining.
Yeah, GVSU making good progress here, not really being ever pushed off the cart, except here you kind of see it.
Yeah, as a caster curse, you just say they never do it in the moment. You say
Yeah.
that's right the one time, and it does happen.
Does look like everyone feels like they're really staggered at the moment, but it seems like they're just trying to regroup now.
Yeah. But yeah,
You
so-
attend so you have a friend on the GVSU team right now, and you attend UofM. Honestly, that's really up to you.
yeah, in our
I encourage
yeah, in our
GVSU, but
in our biased opinions as representing Grand Valley, we would say Grand Valley. But you know, if you have a friend, support it. Yeah, so in our biased opinion, I'd say
we
support
do
Grand
see
Valley.
Jetpack Cat dropping an Ash off the edge, but they're
Oh,
saved
no.
by UofM's Jetpack Cat.
Oh, this is amazing. I think I've said that 20 times tonight for Jetpack Cat, but every time it's
They
still
just
funny.
have such a unique gameplay style. It's
Yeah.
always fun to watch.
Yeah, I remember when they first showed Jetpack Cat, like I saw a clip of Bash and Mercy flying, and it looked like a custom game mode, just everyone hyper flying around really fast. That is crazy they were able to integrate that into normal gameplay.
Hoping to see some
Yeah.
big plays here. It's obviously you get more and more difficult.
Yeah,
for,
we almost have a full team of ultimates for Grand Valley, so I wonder if they're gonna try to comp all of them. Oh, they do have Bob picked up by the Jetpack Cat.
Good play from the Jetpack Pack. It works onto the Sigma. There.
Yeah, I wonder if it's gonna be a good combo going forward because the Bob does have auto aim, so he can't miss, kind of like how Soldier Visor can't miss. And they almost have it fully pushed, so I wonder if Grand Valley might try to throw someone on the back to just try to get pressure on card and maybe back up them.
This is where it gets difficult for Grand Valley because the UofM spawn is just right there. And then UofM also just does have like a good position here.
Grand Valley now sitting on 2 ultimates, almost 3. They probably make some push here. UofM right now only has the Jetpack Cat ultimate, so if they push their ult advantage, then maybe we'll try to get something.
There are ledges on this map, so we have to watch out for that. For the UofM Jetpack Cat ultimate.
And then Rap Baby gets the early pick onto the Freya. They can push and capitalize on that while the Freya gets back. Yeah, something interesting with Vendetta too is her downward swing has like a little spike on it, so it can force flying characters down. So I've noticed that quite a few times.
You see the Jetpack Cat ultimate, but they
no.
fall asleep. Who gets grabbed by? Oh, it doesn't. Both of those ultimates from Jetpack Cats were didn't do too much.
Yeah, so they're trading a lot of ultimates back and forth, but looks like Grand Valley's probably gonna need to reset here.
I think people are starting to realize that if you shoot the character that's ulting, their ult doesn't do much. So
Yeah, but that's happened quite a few times in Overwatch. Like when Overwatch first launched, people said High Noon was the most broken ability in the game, and the people just realized, oh, I can just like hide around the corner from this or just shoot them. And then it got way worse after a couple months. People just realized
you do see
to
a
shoot them
swap to
high.
Mei on GVSU. See how that plays. You're just talking about this. I was just going to mention, I love playing Mei into cast. Whenever they High Noon, you can just throw the wall up, and then if they get around the wall, you can just go into your ice block and just try to block as much as possible.
ultimate here. I had a feeling they're going to try to wall off the Sigma. The Sigma doesn't really have any escape or moon abilities.
Do see GVSU Sigma ult coming out. UofM Sigma basically just one shot there, but unfortunately not going down.
Yeah, it looks like we have
fun shield.
Yeah, both Sigmas trying to ult each other. Both of them get away from it. We have a High Noon in the back. I wonder if they're going to go for a combo, or they might just go for a flanking High
And
Noon
went
here.
onto the Jetpack Cat there. They might not need it.
Yeah, they might use it to zone out or
them off
finish the
point.
fight.
Trying to keep.
Oh, this is kind of clean from the gas.
Do see the ult coming out, but it's unfortunately blocked by that Sigma, but it does not matter because that shield did go down.
Yeah, UofM is going to have to try to stagger touch. They have the Cat on point and
They're
Lucio.
They're just running at it, trying to do something.
Yeah, but they are able to finish and with time as well. That's pretty impressive.
Looks like 55 seconds left on the clock. So UofM will have to push the cart all the way, and then...
Yeah, I believe this is first to 3, right, for the series. So this, I think we might actually have a possible start a reverse sweep here. I don't want to jinx it,
Oh, my
you know,
bad. There was 35 seconds remaining,
yeah,
not 55.
but they were down 2-0, and they're at 1, and they did pretty good this first. I think we might be at least seeing to go the full distance
Again,
here.
it could have been a warm-up round.
Yeah, they didn't play Jetpack Cat the first game. That's the issue. Once they got Jetpack Cat, they knew
Yeah.
everything would be good. Got some-
Jetpack Cat.
some
Obviously,
Omnic
I
statues.
do expect some nerfs going to Jetpack Cat. They're a bit powerful at the moment.
Yeah, I knew some of the balance, like just adding 5 new characters, like at once, there's going to be something that's broken. Like one of them's going to be too weak, at least one of them's going to be too strong, and you have like the millions of variables of how they interact with all the other heroes around them.
As well as how just even like bugs and everything. Like I expected there to be a lot more bugs
Ooh,
with
got
this
some possible lore implications here.
with this drop, but honestly, I haven't experienced too many.
Yeah, I like the little spectator looking on all the little details. These maps actually have quite a few interesting side areas that like just have random lore bits. Like on Nepal, there was like a room where you can see like Genji's sword for when he was like studying with Zenyatta.
You just
random stuff.
never notice when you're actually playing.
So yeah, so shout out to the observer, Paul. You were the real one tonight.
Thank you for observing and letting us see this amazing game.
Yep, this is huge. Looks like for Grand Valley, they're gonna have Venture on defense.
See if that goes. Obviously, Venture is great at just keeping point kind of busy.
I'd also like to point out we had the first use ever of Mizuki in any other competition from UofM.
Mizuki, obviously an interesting character. They have sort of a Lucio like heal
Yeah, they have a little
aura around
range.
them. Yeah.
I believe it's actually. Is that the only character we didn't get to cover yet? I believe is Mizuki.
Like it
Yeah,
is.
so funny enough, the single one we didn't talk about is the one that's on the field right now. But Mizuki's pretty good for some close range engagements. But if we get some time in between this, we'll cover them more in detail later.
Their healing does get boosted when they do damage. Or I guess it's also getting boosted right now as they throw their hat. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so now UofM's going to look to want to hold them in spawn or clear the front as long as possible. Sorry, Grand Valley's going to want to do that.
Sigma obviously excels at just like just holding a point. So
That's
we'll
great.
see
U of
how
M
that works.
on Zarya now. Some people consider Zarya kind of a counter to Sigma, so I feel like maybe they just want to run past the shields and try to beam him down.
Obviously, yeah, Zarya can go through the kinetic grasp.
Yep. So as long as she gets past the shield. Also, Sigma's kind of awkward at close range for how his left click interacts.
Yeah, he's pretty much only got the rock and his major perk there, the punch. So
Yep, and they're not gonna have that perk for a while. Zarya's
Zarya
trying to right click onto
jump
the high
up there,
ground.
but missed it. But the Sigma, it doesn't really matter because the Sigma jumps down.
Yeah,
anyway.
they have the high noon available for Grand Valley, so I wonder if they're gonna go for it with the cat combo.
They nano the cast. They able to capitalize off it? They able to,
Yeah, I think they were
are making
considering.
that Genji hide.
I think they're considering using high noon, but they realized they didn't need to. So I think they might just save it for combo with the cat.
Yeah, that could work pretty well. Sigma almost landing on that rock. That was super close.
Yeah, UofM kind of shoved into the walker, metaphorically,
Kind
and
of a
literally
big
speaking. They're all in this little alley
from that
here.
Sigma there, keeping those supports busy.
Yeah, and I believe
the
that's
Ashe.
a team wipe for Grand Valley. And I don't know if Grand Valley lost anyone that fight.
They did lose the jetpack cat and the cast, because I did see just some swaps right there.
Oh.
Oh no, that was the swaps from
Yeah,
U
that's
of
for
M.
U
That
of
was my
M.
bad.
Grand Valley still has
It's
their
just
ults.
the blue and the red. They swapped it last round, and I still didn't completely.
Yeah, they're going for it. They have the cast in the behind. They're going
They're
for
doing
it.
it. Do they?
Oh, they get
two? Oh, they get the
Yeah,
immortality
they
field
more
and the other
counts,
cast.
but it's still getting one at the start. And then they're just getting the cleanup kills
And
right
now
now.
it's
a
almost
fight over.
another team wipe here, and it is.
Yeah.
That was a quick team wipe from
Yeah, that was
GVSU.
insanely fast. They just had the pressure from the high noon, and then also once they had everyone looking at the high noon, now the rest of the team just pushes in and gets the 3 other cleanup kills.
But obviously that did not. I mean, that didn't waste a ton of time for U of M. They can
Yeah.
obviously kind of just get out there pretty quick again.
Yeah, although U of M's gonna want to start making some progress because they're gonna have to push it the entire time just to get into overtime. So now U of M's on the other foot. They're kind of fighting the uphill battle here.
Looks like they got like, I want to say, 30 seconds remaining
Yeah,
to
we do
get
have-
that cart to checkpoint 1.
We do have the map UI that covers the time a little bit. We can probably move that in just a moment so we can see the time.
Does look the GVSU just trying to hold here. Doesn't look like U of M is just pushing the cart right now. Looks like they're just trying to at least take out some of GVSU.
Yeah, we got to grab solo just mostly on the Sigma.
Good Bob position there, kind of covers the high ground and the low, but Sigma
Yeah.
getting that 3K right there
It'll be
might just lock U of M out.
already overtime for U of M. They have to make a play here. Grand Valley.
The Doomfist
Really
here
going on though.
on point, just trying to stay
Oh
alive.
my God, Grand Valley.
U
Oh,
of M
they're-
just trying
yeah,
to
they're
stagger at this
stalling.
point. Just not going well.
Oh, Grand Valley, where were you the first 2 games? You were joshing us. You had it in you.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, I guess they just locked in. Now,
But we'll see the rare map 5 on this.
Yeah, real question is who got play of the game? Oh,
I
the
think it's
parry.
going to be the Sigma 3K around the end, I assume. But very impressive game from that. That was
Yeah, Grand Valley, I feel like they really, really brought it back. And now it's tied 2-2. Whoever takes this last one is now at match point.
obviously U of M. You could see the panic kind of setting in there at the end. They were just kind of swapping the characters, just trying to get to point.
Yeah, sometimes in these competitions too, it's really easy to get the nerves on to where you go up and then you just almost have it, and then once you lose just a little bit, you have that question in the back of your mind, like, oh no, are we gonna get it flipped? What's going on because we're doing so good? So I feel like there's a lot of mental pressure from Grand Valley because they're about to lose and now they're up 2, or
So,
rather they're even.
Yeah, we're moving on
2-2.
to map 5 to see match point.
Yeah, so I believe
see who
we-
takes this.
Yeah, we do actually have enough time for Mizuki now. Funny enough, we have 5 maps, 5 characters, so it kind of goes 1-1, just enough time for one between the break. Yeah, so Mizuki is the last support added. He's a cool kind of Japanese
They have
ninja guy with that
yeah,
samurai
unique,
hat.
They have a pretty unique kit. They have their just primary fire is a
Yeah,
glaive that
yeah,
does like I think it bounces only once.
Yeah,
But
you can
it
bounce
does ricochet, and I've gotten I want to say a couple, but I think it was only
Yeah,
like
and it does
one,
damage, and then it builds up
one
like a,
ricochet kill around a wall.
yeah, it builds up his healing aura, which is kind of like Lucio's, but he can't toggle it off. But he gets more more aura benefits the more targets he hits. But he can't do it from too far away, so he kind of has to stick with the team, kind of like Lucio, because otherwise he won't heal any people in the aura. And then his right click, he kind of throws his hat and it auto locks on. That's his other source of healing, but it's on a cooldown, so he can't just spam it like other heal characters.
You get 2 uses of it, and you can just bounce it off of your teammates. When it comes back to you, it also heals you a good amount.
Yeah, there is a perk that makes it, I believe, it go to another character or adds extra healing.
Mm-hmm.
I usually take that because I feel like that's pretty good because he can do a lot of healing once you get that. Then his E ability, he kind of has a hinder to where he just like throws a chain at someone. It kind of feels like Roadhogs for like how you interact with it, but it just kind of changes them to the ground and they get stuck for like a second.
Yeah, very good against flying characters if you can land it, because then they get stuck to the ground. So it's kind of like they kind of just did this. They released Mitsuki and Jetpack Cat at kind of the same time. So obviously, use it against Jetpack Cat.
Yeah, it's also rather good if you're getting dove because you can just cancel the dive midway through and just freeze them in place.
Mm-hmm. Their next ability is where they summon a little paper doll behind them. They get a bit of a speed boost, and for like 5 seconds, they can teleport back to that paper doll.
Yeah, but it's optional. It kind of feels like Tracer's recall, but it's optional to use the recall. You get a speed boost and you can recall to the spot you were, but it's 5 seconds, I believe.
I feel like it's very good at just. It's good to just provide that speed boost, especially when you just like leave spawn or something.
Yeah,
like
sometimes I feel like it almost needs a longer time because 5 seconds isn't enough to like go in and dive someone, especially because you have to play in the back of the team with how he normally is. So I heard some people online say they kind of wish it was longer. I mostly just use it for a speed boost, like getting back from spawn or just engaging on someone. Like it's such a short time that 5 seconds is usually not enough to go and make a flank play. I feel like 7 seconds or 8 would be like a lot more forgiving if you want to actually retreat. But you can still do some stuff, like you can retreat if there's like a diva bomb or a lot of things to retreat and get out of the way. So it's still helpful.
Yeah, it can be helpful.
But he'd have more of a flanker bonus or playstyle.
Their ultimate, I have found myself confused with their ultimate in the past, but it does just create a like area that absorbs projectiles and heals allies in the area.
I believe most of the effects are similar to the Diva Matrix. So like most projectiles get eaten, but I believe some beams can still pierce through it. So there's still some things that can go through it. And it also has like you mentioned, a little bit of a slow healing on top of that.
I wonder if the Sigma Rock can go through that. I assume it might be able to, because that
think
can
it
go
might,
through all
yeah,
other
because
things.
it usually
But I'm not too sure.
is like the exception. It's not a beam, but also can go through a
It
lot of
does
matrices.
only absorb projectiles from outside, so if you do see it, you can try and get inside of the aura and start using your projectiles in there.
It is also rather short. I believe it's only like about 5 seconds, but if you're canceling an ult, that can be pretty fast. I heard some people in the community saying that they're kind of concerned about turning to Marvel Rivals, where they just kind of support ultimates that are giant circles that last for like 8 seconds and just do ultimate healing or all block all damage. So they said they want to have some limits, which I feel like that's fair, because I've heard some people for Rivals say they don't want every support just be a giant circular ult that just blocks all damage for 8 seconds. So I think that's pretty fair. So I believe that's mostly
and then
Mizuki
yeah,
covered.
their final is just their healing path. Like it's just this is a constant like healing aura, kind of like Lucio's, just around them. It does scale with damage and your own healing.
Which I think that's a pretty cool bonus. It kind of gamifies. Like you always want to play the mini game of trying to keep your healing a higher number, and you get more ultimate charge when you do that. So
yeah, you have to constantly do damage or constantly just be healing. I don't think it does scale with your aura healing though. So it does. You do have to just heal with other sources like your hat.
Yeah. All right. So I believe we're gonna hop back into the game in just a moment. I wonder what they're trying to decide. Yeah, I believe what I'm hearing is they might be on Coliseum for now.
That map didn't get reworked, but it did get a bunch of new decorations around.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's changed so much. It feels like a rework because the lighting is different. Like all the visuals are different.
There's a couple different props around. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like different because
I don't think they're in different places, but they're like different.
Yeah,
looking.
I think some of them might be like the Ever's tiny amount, but it's not enough that would really affect gameplay. It's almost like when they do like holiday maps to where like they technically change some things, but 98% of the time they won't make any difference. So they have like some gun cases or something that are open because in the cinematic it involves Vendetta going against Doomfist, and a lot of that stuff happens in Italy. So there's now in the ongoing story, which another cool thing for this year, they said it's the year of Talon, and they're gonna have an ongoing story this entire year. It's gonna focus on Talon, which is like the mercenary company.
You can.
And a lot of it's in Italy. So.
I think the current event. I think it's an event in the game right now. Is you can side with either Talon or Overwatch. I want to know who everyone sided with. That's
Yeah, I did
interesting.
Overwatch, but I believe you can switch week to week. So I'm just
I
looking
think
at
you
the
can.
rewards for this week. So I think for a lot of the other times I might go Talon just for the rewards. But for this first week, I did Overwatch.
I think I did Talon, but I didn't. I don't know. I don't really remember.
Yeah, I think they said that if you fully complete it, you have the option to do the other side. But
Mm.
then then it would take longer, so then you aren't completely locked out. But it'd be a lot more difficult to do both.
One thing I'd like to see is I played it a long time ago, but I haven't played it recently. But the game, the finals, they have like
Oh
the
yeah.
thing where you can where you can find like you can pick a sponsor, and then that sponsor basically has their own sort of like pass, and
Yeah,
you can
that's
like
pretty
swap
cool.
it. That sort of system is I feel like what Overwatch is trying to do with this.
Yeah, I think they just want to get the community involved, and a big part is it feels like your decisions matter. You say I'm going to pick one side, and it might change the story, or you might get different rewards. And it makes it feel a lot more immersive, and you're actually
And
doing
then
something.
yeah, obviously there's the bar on the top right on the menu where it shows you how many people, like the percentage between Talon
Yeah, I
and
wonder if
Overwatch.
that's changed because the first few days it was still 50-50. So I'm guessing they're giving it a few days for the event, to
I
get the
also
numbers
wonder
in.
what that's going to change. Like who, if they're going to do a community thing, deciding on who wins, who is going to be the
Yeah, I have to look
what is going to
into it.
change with whoever wins that.
Yeah, I wonder if it actually like affects the greater story or if it just like some bonuses for you to get, which they also have added quite a bit of new bonuses. They refreshed the loot box pool as well, but we're gonna go back into the game now because it sounds like we're loading into the last map of the night.
I heard rumors about a big loot box event coming up, and I'm excited for that. I love to get my hands on some
Ooh. It is
some
on
of the new
Coliseum
cosmetics.
night.
that are added.
The lighting on this map looks really nice. You just saw we had overlooking the city in the background. And they have like fireworks, and now there's lights lighting up in the Coliseum
You can
itself.
see all the Talon related stuff everywhere on the map now.
Yeah,
It's all these boxes are now a dark gray, which is I think different than
Yeah.
than the original.
yeah. They also some of them have like guns on the inside. When you open up, they have the town logos everywhere. There's a few other changes, but especially the time of day changing, it really makes it feel like a different map, at least for visuals.
Seeing Cass being carried to point by the jetpack cat.
Yep. So now we got Cass going on the flank here. This really helps slow character from the cat being in the game, being able to get them on the side.
Yeah, as someone who does play characters without a lot of movement, it is really nice to have a jetpack cat be able to just like take you to point. It helps you get into the action a lot faster.
Yeah, everyone else on Grand Valley has a movement or a fast movement ability. At least Cassidy technically has a roll, but it's not really much for movement. But so I feel like they're primarily going to use it only for combo with Cass.
UofM, we do see a Roadhog now.
Yeah, I wonder.
Lucio falling to a jetpack cat melee.
I wonder
Obviously that enhanced
what their
melee.
plan is here. Are they planning to zone out the Tracer because if they get stuck by a hook, they're dead? Or are they trying to use it to counter ball?
Obviously, yeah, the ball has been pretty dominant on just holding things down, just keeping point contested. So the Hog might just be a good counter for that.
Yeah, I'll say when you get a Wrecking Ball that's really good, it is one of the most frustrating characters to play against. You kind of just have to keep stunning him and get the team around him rather than target the ball because the ball can feel invincible a lot with how much HP he has and you can't headshot him and ball for him.
Hog also with his own self heals, able to kind of just keep himself alive without supports.
Grand Valley looking to set up a bit of a flank.
Ball goes down to the Freya. I assume it would be a take aim shot because it looks like they were running for cover. Typically that's what happens to me is I typically just hide and cover and then just blow up.
Yeah, I feel like I believe the perk is called Silver Bullet for his take aim thing. I feel like that's always the more popular option for people. It's also rather fun just to get like the one special piercing bonus damage shot.
You see Cass coming up on their ult right now. We do see the swap to Genji from Tracer on GVSU. Tracer unfortunately just not working out too well.
Yeah. Genji playing around the set of the ball. UofM was able to push it a little bit, but Grand Valley is contesting it there. They don't want to give this checkpoint because then they'll trigger the advanced respawns.
See if Ball wants to use their ult here, and it looks like they do.
Yep, they're trying to use the power drive combo, but most of UofM's able to navigate out of it. But at least they zone them out and they cap points.
They are able to try and push that robot back to the middle, get that pressure off of the off of GVSU.
Yeah, so now they have to run back to point because they had ball on point. They were able to flip it all the way back to the center. And I see we have a high noon available,
We
and the
do
cat's
see
picking
the
them up.
cat picking them up.
Oh my
I
god, it's
do
so
think
good. It's so
happening.
strong. It's so strong.
Like, man, they were really expecting it too, and they almost took him out. He was stuck at 9 health
Yeah,
at the end
Felix
there.
gets 2 from the high noon, and then
then
2 follow-ups on top of that.
Obviously, really amazing play from the Cass and the Jetpack Cat.
I don't think we've seen a single combo tonight that didn't get at least 1 kill with the combo. It's so good.
I assume that will be the play of the game at the end there with the with the 4K.
Yeah, I believe the last 2 kills were a little bit staggered off, so it might not give them enough of the bonuses for how long play of the game is, but if they don't get it, I feel like it deserves just getting forward by yourself. Well, by yourself in quotations, they have the cap.
Yeah, with the Jetpack Cat. Another Jetpack Cat combo I've seen clips of is Jetpack Cat and Orisa, which seems
we have
really
the parry
funny.
going back on the Freya.
And the melee into the Freya, just able
Yeah.
to dive there.
Yeah,
That works
UofM
out
could
pretty
not
well.
get back to them in time to peel, and they just get soloed by the Wrecking Ball.
Wrecking Ball, yeah, again, good Wrecking Balls, like you said. They're just so tough to
Yeah.
go against.
Some character like Freya, she really does not have many tools to duel. She doesn't have any push. All she can kind of do is fly away, but if she gets to get pounced on by the ball, she can't do that much. Especially because she can't really headshot him in the ball form.
UofM was able to get the robot back. GVSU still not able to take the lead here.
Almost have Blade here for Grand Valley.
Maybe we'll see an aerial drop of Genji Blade into
Yeah.
into the back line.
And we also have Rush available. I feel like Rush and Blade are actually a decent combo because you can swing rather fast.
Circle Alt goes out. It does go down there. I didn't expect it to actually go down like that. I didn't realize that it could do that. I've had things where I do it in front of a lamppost on accident and it only goes like 2 feet. But obviously, that might just be a skill issue on my part.
Yeah, and this is still a really rather close game. Neither point has gotten the first objective. We're only about
You see
halfway
the
there.
Genji Blade coming out. Are they going to land anything?
Yeah, nope.
The beat, and I saw the Suzu at the beginning of it.
Yeah,
and
they
they're
also
just not
they
able
use
to do
High
anything.
Noon and Beat to zone them out. But at least they traded 2-for-1 ults there, so they're up in the ult advantage. But you know, they're able to survive the Blade at least.
And the they just have to get that robot. They have to stop.
Yeah,
them
Grand
from
Valley, they
getting
don't
that-
want let them
getting
to get
that
it here.
forward spawn.
They
are so
barely
close to
didn't
getting
get it.
Just have to keep them off of that.
Yeah, if they
Off
get
of that robot.
if they get that forward spawn, it gives them such an advantage.
But they do not get it, and UofM has to run all the way back.
Yeah.
Jetpack Cat going back for the little
Yeah.
taxi, it looks like.
And Sophia
Grabs the
being
cast.
the nice person, you know, like team get back fast. And you notice they have another High Noon.
Is this
They're
what
gonna
they
go
could
for
be
it
going
again.
for again? I wonder if you could take him over that building there.
Yeah,
Oh, looks like
they're gonna try it. Yeah, we'll find out.
And it looks like they can.
They're
We
gonna go
might see
for it.
I don't think. Did they notice? They definitely do notice that Lucio.
Oh,
was
yep,
shooting.
they still get
They
one.
landed on the Freya. It works out in the end, it looks like. They all just want that cast dead now.
Yeah, they know they're gonna go for it. Like basically every other fight when they get their ult.
Looks like they all wanted him gone.
Yeah. And then UofM's able to get a few pickup kills after that. So even though Grand Valley had the opener, actually,
There, yeah.
yep. Now they
UofM
get it.
is able to take control of the robot and bring it
Yeah,
back.
it looks like the pair is gonna try to sit near the corner because they don't want to get them the objective. So they might just stall it out for like 10 seconds to
Wrecking
get the team
Ball
back in
obviously
time.
being very good at just stalling, so
I think that's their plan. They got a little duel, but Sophia has to back up so the Freya doesn't snipe her.
do see an ult coming out.
Oh, they get the
grabs
Roadhog.
Roadhog, and there they go off the edge.
Yep, and they get the kill
Zero.
on Roadhog. That's massive.
Nothing that could help him there. No Jetpack Cat to save that Roadhog.
Yep, and most critical for Grand Valley was that entire time they didn't get off the payload. So because of that, they did not get the objective. So now they're still fighting over just to get the first point. But for Grand Valley to win this, they basically have to get the point. So
Obviously, yeah. Without movement, Roadhog was just completely gone there.
yeah.
I think that if you're playing Roadhog, you can actually grab the Jetpack Cat with your hook.
You can. I
and
believe
think
if
it
you
does drop
use
it.
any form of CC, it cancels it.
But nobody tell that to this Roadhog.
Yeah. Gotta
ult
pray-
comes out, lands on the Wrecking Ball, I think, making him kind of push back. Wrecking Ball ult goes off anyways.
Yeah,
just trying to
Kiriko
keep him
ult
out
as
of that
well.
Kiriko ult.
2 of them get pushed into the mines. This is going to be bad because if Grand Valley gets his advantage, we keep talking about the checkpoint, but it's so
3K.
powerful.
That is a 3K from the Wrecking Ball, allowing Grand Valley to almost take the lead, and I think they will get it.
Yeah, they get it.
Along with the forward spawn, so they do. All right, so I think they're going for it
Yeah, they're
again.
going to go for it. If they cement
They're going
this,
around
only 2
this
minutes.
time, though. Oh,
Oh,
are
no,
they-
no, no. Okay, okay, they survived. They can't broke. They have to watch it so they don't break it.
And there it
Oh
is.
my god.
And that's
Oh
a
my
2K
god, too.
again.
There's no way they don't patch this. This is insane. Also huge from Felix too. I want to downplay how good Felix is doing on their own, but they have to nerf this combo.
How
They can
did
speed
they-
so fast.
So I just like, it's insane. I feel like there's just not much you can do about it instead of like, unless if you just focus all fire, or just you have to run for like something.
You have to know. It's so hard to get them out of the air because they're so fast as well.
But they were being really sneaky with it. They snuck around those buildings.
Yeah.
UofM did not know
They're
what hit
almost
them.
fully capped it to the end of the map now.
Obviously, GVSU just has to keep the pressure up because they do have the lead right here. Vendetta ult comes out, but unfortunately goes under the bridge.
Yeah. Looks like Sophia's gonna look to try to pull someone off here.
Yeah, obviously with the ult,
Oh.
they're grabbing the dominant.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Also they switched to dominant.
Oh,
now
but
first
they're
right of the game.
not able
Oh,
to make
no.
it. They ult
high
the
noon
jetpack
again.
cat.
I believe that happened earlier when someone tried to catnap. I believe is the name of it. Like
Yeah,
kidnap.
they tried to. That happened in the on the Shambali map.
Yeah, they
with,
just immediately
with
pulled a
Felix.
high noon on it. I feel like that's the only way to kill it fast at range because it auto locks.
Obviously, Wrecking Ball just trying to stall here.
Yeah, they have a time advantage because they pushed it so far, so they don't really need to win this fight. They just need to keep stalling it out and just win any fight now.
UofM swapping to Domina though, so we haven't seen too much. We haven't seen Domina at all today, so
Yeah, so,
excited to see how that goes for UofM.
yeah, so now that we're down to the last 15 seconds, Grand Valley only realistically needs to get 1 fight win.
And Wrecking Ball does have his ult, so he can kind of contest point
Yeah,
with
they
that.
are chasing
This
him
is
a little bit.
extremely good for GVSU, but he just needs to get to that robot and drop his mines.
Yeah, that will be such a good
Ult
zoning tool.
Coming up with, and there it goes. It goes out. Ult coming up onto the
Yeah.
cast.
We have a high noon available. Are they going to do one more combo
Are they going
for
to try
the
and
road?
get one more? I don't know. I don't think they need it.
Yeah, they don't. It'd be
Or
funny.
they might.
And
They are
oh,
going
they're
for
gonna
it
go for it,
anyways.
yeah.
Oh, or not.
didn't really
but
need it,
they
but
got it
the
as
high
play
noon-
domino anyways. It doesn't matter.
And
that is a win
that's
for
gonna be it.
GVSU.
But they're able to do it. They get the reverse sweep against U of M. That's
That is a comeback if I've ever seen one.
yeah, that is amazing for Grand Valley, especially
And
with how powerful U of M
we
was in that
see
first
the
round.
ult. I assume I think I know what this is gonna be.
Yeah, well, which one actually? There was a few good ones.
Oh, it was this one.
Yeah. Look how fast he can move so fast in the
That's
back line with
crazy.
insta kill.
You could just see
That's so fast.
U of M scrambling to find out like where he is and where they can take cover from.
Yeah. So that is enormous from Grand Valley. Like I said, that's a reverse sweep, which is very, difficult to do.
The comeback win from obviously being 2-0 to 3. So
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, so we're actually going to do a post-game interview with that huge victory now. So don't go anywhere. Give us a moment where we'll set up an interview. But yeah, that was pretty fun. I felt like versus the earlier maps, the last one, because it's so open for cast and getting the high noon
Mhm.
combo, it just turned into a playground of every other fight. Every time you got ultimate, they
Yeah,
immediately went for the combo.
Seeing that combo so many times and just like, man, that really, I'm really happy I got to see that. And
Yeah.
I expect it to be nerfed
I
in the
mentioned
future,
it a few times,
honestly.
like, it just seems so ridiculously strong. I don't know if they can keep it, or they'll have to have some kind of change or nerf. Like, I don't think they'll get rid of it completely,
I
but they have
don't
to have
think
some
they
kind of
can't,
limit
they
on
can't
it.
get rid of it completely, but there has to be. I feel like there's going to be something with it. But that was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, that was very, very funny. If you're rooting for U of M there, I feel your pain, though. Getting reverse swept is rather painful. So I feel you on that one. But for Grand Valley fans, you could say that was a massive upset.
That was I don't know. I'm kind of like speechless after that. That was just so much fun to
Yeah.
watch that one.
Yeah, I still really feeling the mood. I feel like there's just so much energy and comedy in that last game.
Just
So Yeah,
How
it
many
was
times that they did that combo was just so
yeah, just
funny.
over and over.
They never really had to change it up. I kind of wish we did see more ultimate combos with Jetpack Cat. Like from U of M, I kind of wish we
Mhm.
did see the Diva Bomb Jetpack Cat combo. But
Yeah, it was pretty funny. You know what would also be great is if they both went to do it at the same time and they said both casts high nooning like next to each other. Because then whoever did it first would win because then you get the cast and the
and the
cat at the
Jetpack
same
Cat,
time.
yeah.
So that'd be pretty strong if they were able to win with that. But but yeah, we're just waiting a little bit more on the interview, but we still have lots to talk about for that. So yeah, we were able to finally see. Did we have every character in the game?
Not
Not the DPS. We had both
yeah,
supports
we had
and the tank.
the tank at
played.
the very end, and then obviously Mitsuki for a little bit, and then Jetpack Cat a lot of the time actually.
Yeah, I feel like Jetpack Cat was just so strong that kind of had to play them over and over, especially with that combo there with the high noon. It was just really good.
I'm kind of sad about the lack of the DPSs, but obviously they're
Mhm.
not in the greatest spot. I feel like they're not
They don't feel
honestly,
that powerful.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I feel
Yeah.
like, especially Anran, I think, or Enran, I believe she needs to be buffed more
I think
with
that
how she
again,
plays.
yeah, so much for so little. But
Yeah,
that
the
was
supports are both pretty good. I think Mizuki's a little bit weaker. I feel like Jetpack Cat's definitely going to get a nerf, especially being able to do combos just like we saw here tonight.
That's a fun concept that I really hope to see more stuff like that in like
Mhm.
the future with like more synergies.
Yeah,
So I feel like
I love seeing characters like that just have completely unique play styles like that. Its main objective is just to tether people.
so we're going to look at the broadcast schedule while we set up this interview. You can see what the schedule is for. It's pretty
Yeah, for the
obvious,
other
yeah,
games.
for the
yeah.
other games.
What's up, Lakers? We're coming at you with a new year of broadcasts with uploads Monday through Friday. This is a student-led initiative, so be sure to give us your recommendations in our Discord channel. Let's get into the schedule. On Monday, we're going to be having the Lakerland podcast hosted by your director, Evan Dean, and Ben Robar. We're going to give you different updates throughout the week on this podcast, so be sure to check it out every single Monday. On Tuesday, we're going to be hosting Challenge Day, where we're going to post a challenge every single week that you guys should attempt and send your clips in the broadcast channel. We'll compile them into a little video and shoot them out on Tuesdays. Wednesdays are our big streaming day. We're going to be streaming live all of our NECC competitions, so be sure to come out and support your Lakers. Thursday, we're going to be uploading a pre-recorded video featuring our community. We'll either be showing some open house competitions or some community events. Friday will be another live streaming day. We'll either be live streaming more NECC competitions or open house events, so come out and hang out with us on Friday. Our broadcasts are all about showing off our members and community. Whether you're a casual or competitive gamer, come on and join us at our YouTube channel at GVSU Esports. We'll see you there.
All right, so welcome back, Lakers. We just had that reverse sweep from Grand Valley, so we're actually going to do a bit of an interview with the players here. So would you two like to introduce yourself into the mic?
I'm Rat Baby. I play support for GVSU.
I'm Felix Pigeon, and I play DPS for GVSU.
Yeah, so you probably just saw that amazing gameplay they just had with that reverse sweep. So we're going to interview them, just ask them a few questions and see, go from there. So do you guys think, do you had a main idea of going in with a lot of Jetpack Cat for tonight because how strong they were?
No. Ever since like this new season even dropped and all the new heroes, like Jetpack Cat is banned like 99% of the time. So even Sophia, our Jetpack Cat player, had like maybe an hour tops since they came out to actually practice the character. But even that amount of time at all was enough to even like get her ready for games like this.
Yeah, and that's something in the first round we were actually discussing. We were talking about if we're actually going to see any of the new characters because we weren't sure if they were banned because there weren't any in the first round, or if it was just because there's such little time. Because they essentially, did a a new version of Overwatch on Tuesday with 5 new heroes, reworking a lot of other things, and going from Tuesday afternoon to Friday to playing for a competition is really short notice. So we weren't even sure how they're going to do it for this comp tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing like ever that they've done for Overwatch to release all of that new content all at once.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool to go back to Overwatch. Personally, I always called it Overwatch, even when they went to Overwatch 2.
Right.
So I kind of embraced the new idea of we're just going to go back to how it used to be. We're just going to focus back on story. They brought back the cinematics, which finally, because I used to love the cinematics, so seeing new ones, and to say we're just going to invest in new heroes, new stories, new menus, new everything. I think that was a really good switch from them. But I know, like we mentioned for tonight, that's quite a bit to process all in a couple days for a competition. But it seemed like you guys did pretty well, especially we noticed that there was a little bit of a shift, whereas earlier games we weren't sure if it's just warming up or if it's the new heroes. But we noticed, UofM did really good the first few rounds, and then you were able to completely reverse it after that.
It's a GVSU method, bro. We
Yeah.
always reverse sweep every time.
Yep.
Honestly, I think it was just mostly because of our Jetpack Cat was just better. Because they tried it in a couple of games, but they weren't able to do what we were doing on there, and I think that's the number one reason why they lost.
Yeah, we noticed the cast was also really good. Not to undermine the Jetpack Cat, but they Felix also got quite a few bit of kills at the end, like for cleanup kills.
Just a few.
Yeah, so we commented that a few times because sometimes they get 2 kills with the high noon, and then after that they get 2 cleanup kills right after that. So we said that was really good. We did say though it's not all of them because the Jetpack Cat did assist them, so we don't want to say we start to say by themselves they got 4, but really it's like when you get nano boosted, like you're not quite doing 1v3 if you're using someone else's ultimate for you, but it was still rather impressive. Yeah, do you guys have any plans for this season too with these new changes? Do you think you're gonna spec into any of the new heroes?
I mean, we're learning sim comps because we've never played them before. We primarily play dive. So we're learning that right now, but we're kind of late to the party on that.
Yeah, I think honestly what a lot of folks are waiting for is to see what some of the pro teams are doing with the new heroes. Especially with the new season, even just now that they've already released balance changes for some of these new heroes. So I think as of now, it's really too soon to say like who's going to be strong, who's going to be weak. I mean, Jetpack Cat, obviously, until they start changing some numbers next week. But until then, I think most folks are just trying to see what the pros do.
Yeah, and that's something at the start of the stream we started to say just a little bit, because there's so many changes and so many variables. There's going to be some characters that are going to be really weak, some are going to be strong, and they're also making changes to other characters. So I think they're going to need a little bit of time to readjust it, because just with all those variables, you're going to inevitably have something that's kind of broken.
Yeah.
So just whether, once they get a couple weeks of feedback and see, because I noticed a lot of people that thought Jetpack Cat was kind of weak because they would permanently fair and have like bash in the air, and they'd essentially not get value from the Jetpack Cat. But then once they realize, well, you just play them as a normal character and you only use the tether for like an ultimate combo, then they instantly went way, way better. So I think people will learn it over the next couple of weeks and realize, especially Jetpack Cat, that they're actually kind of busted. You've probably seen a lot of that tonight even.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And is there anything you want to let the audience know, or any of the fans to talk about for the new season? You think any of the skins, any of the changes, any of the menus, just anything with a NECC season specifically, do you think that changed that they want to know?
The Domina skin for Valentine's Day is the best skin we're ever going to get. Period.
Oh, that is completely fair. I'm personally a Domina enjoyer myself. Whenever I play tank now, I just go straight for her. And not just because of how she looks too. Like her gameplay is actually very cool. Like she's the second poke tank, where Sigma was the first. They just said now she's the second. It's kind of interesting how she has a beam and also turns into projectile at the end of it too.
Her shield's also really cool.
Yeah, how it breaks into multiple segments. I'm always surprised how they're still able to get new like designs after they have closing in on like 50 characters at this point, I want to say.
Yep.
But yeah, so do you guys have any closing words you want to say for the team or for the fans for tonight?
Anchor up.
Anchor up.
Anchor up, Lakers. All right, well, thank you too for the interview. We really
Thank you for
appreciate
having
it.
us.
Yep, see you next week, and congrats GVSU on their huge upset victory again.
Thank you very much.